Cool. Let's let people load in and everything.
Gotta minimize shit. Gotta run 2 windows. There we go. Come on. No, not that. Just to the left. Thank you.
Catching up with everything. Lock in load. Get some people in. We're expecting a little slowness, off season. People stop caring.
Everybody's riding the high of the sweet loss at Kansas City.
Yeah.
You guys can't see the Kansas City logo. I did get this in Kansas from some redneck without teeth. So I was just so happy they lost. I'm like, the memes are going to be great today.
Yeah, they were. You were a little out of pocket there. I'm not gonna lie. Even for me, I was like, dude. And for me to say that, I was like, dude, what is Josh posting?
Josh had some fun this weekend. Is what he did, and I was like, so I posted it, and it was Sunday, obviously, so I went to bed, wake up for work the next morning, and it was a little bit over 2 million over the weekend. So I was like, that's a good weekend, man. That was just on Instagram, 2 million. I was like, that's a good fucking weekend. Good Saturday, Sunday. It's talking shit. We didn't even do anything. We just basked in them losing, fuckers.
I ended up getting hammered on Sunday. I ended up going to like an after party, I guess, and oh man, it was brutal.
Yeah, pounding bug balls. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, brutal. It was brutal. Good times though. They have teeth out there. No, they don't. Good evening, Marcus Allen 32. NBS Christ. Cool. Well, we'll dive in a little bit. I mean, we're probably not going to get the same traction people check out during the year, so
let's have some fun with this. So
dive right into it.
Right off the bat, okay, we got Sanders. I don't know if you guys watched the ESPN. Sanders has fallen to the six picks of the Raiders in multiple drafts. Jeremy Fowler's estimating it. Multiple ex-players, coaches, GMs, and then a lot of high-end places. Like Fox Sports, ESPN, PFF. They are having Sanders fall to us in multiple drafts. So, to me, he's the second quarterback. I think Ward's overtaken number one. You saw how Ward played. Sanders, there's all the shirtless photos going around of him, and then he didn't participate in the Senior Bowl. So I think that turned some people the wrong way. So a lot of defensive line talent in this draft. So you have Carter, you have the Cats from Michigan. So a lot of places have Sanders falling to 6. I gotta say, if he falls, I'm not mad, but I'm not happy. So I'm okay with it. But I think there is better players. What do you think?
I mean, if it depends what you're looking at. If you're going BPA, of course, there's gonna be better players. But I mean, the past few years, the glaring issue with the Raiders is the quarterback position. Sanders, is he the answer? Who knows? I mean, that's the gamble you take with these guys. Teams now want quarterbacks to succeed day one. Sanders might need to be able to, not sit necessarily, but he's gonna need a good teacher. And he'll have Brady. I'm sure we'll get a veteran for him to get as well. And I like Sanders. I've said it, multiple podcasts now that Sanders, I think he just has the willingness to win. I think he's a good leader. He's good media trained. You watch any of his media stuff, he's very, very well spoken for a college player. I think he's gonna do well. And I hope it's Sanders. Cam Ward, I think, is out of the picture. I think he's gonna be the first quarterback taken off the board. What do you think?
He's number one. Yeah, he's gonna go by like number 2 or 3. So yeah, I think so. To me, I said this a while back too. I was like, Sanders will come in and be more polished right off the bat. Ward has the chance to have higher potential. And I think teams are starting to see that. Like, okay, Cam has the potential to be better. Sanders is going to be better coming in right off the bat. So I think if we drafted Sanders at 6, I think we're a 500 team right off the bat. He can come in and just manage a game.
Yeah.
So
he'd be a good game manager. He'd be really good at it.
Quarterback, hopefully we can build around it.
Yeah, I think he'd be really good. I mean, for what we need, we have a lot of positions we need, and I've said this before too, that it's not going to be an overnight fix. We're going to need to hit on a lot of draft picks and a lot of free agency picks. It's not an overnight fix. I think Sanders does point us in the right direction. I know we will talk about the other players as well, but right now, just focusing on Sanders, I would be happy with Sanders at 6.
We got some comments too. Fuck Sanders, trade for what? I don't think we're trading up, man. I think the price is going to be too high. So I think that's out of the question. I really don't like talk about a lot of what ifs sometimes. I think that's out of the question. But there is a lot of free agent quarterbacks. So we're going to get into that. And here's the problem. Every free agent quarterback here that I'm listing, I would take over AOC, and most NFL GMs would. That shows you the caliber that AOC is. He's not a top-tier quarterback. So, let's go right off the bat with the old man himself. So we do have a 37-year-old quarterback that is a free agent, not Aaron because he's in his 40s, but that Matt Stafford.
Stafford to the Raiders.
Yeah, so that there's been some buzz around that lately. To me, Stafford's trade value is the 37-year-old quarterback. They're going to do a 4th, 5th, or 6th. He's going to be there for a year or two. He did okay this year. He had 10 wins, 20 touchdowns, obviously won a playoff game. He did have some injuries with Puka and Cooper Kupp, so he had a down year. Same thing. He comes in. If he does, and we draft like Dar and Moreau, somebody in the later rounds, I think we're a 500 to above team next year.
Yeah, and I mean, those stats, losing Puka and Cooper Kupp, are still really, really good compared to what the Raiders have had in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Trade value, though, I mean, it all depends. I mean, 37. What would you be willing to give up for Stafford?
4th and on, without question. It's hard, even though he's going to be there for a couple years. A 4th, I'd be okay with, because chances you getting a 4th round pick that start is very low.
Yeah.
I think it's about 10, 15%, something like that. So, and to be a high caliber player, what you get in Stafford for a few years is probably going to be better what you draft.
Yeah, I would like Stafford. I think Stafford would also bring, a lot of the whole Pete Carroll thing. He's going to bring that stability at the position. He's going to be able to train who's under him. I think Stafford would make a lot of sense for the Raiders going into the year. But you got to have a backup plan ASAP, whether it's Jackson Dart, whether it's Shedeur Sanders. You need a backup plan like ASAP with Stafford.
If you look at that lovely ticker I made. You look at his contract. He's getting $49 million next year and $53 million the next year after that. So you're taking the $92 million we have and cutting it in half with Stafford. That's the only unlikeliness, unless they back in his contract or the Rams eat it, which seems like they may do.
They might, yeah. We got a question here from Eric. How long is Peter coach for people who don't know?
Ooh, I'd say 4 years.
Right now he's signed for 3 years, and I believe the 4th year is a team option.
Yeah.
So he's guaranteed right now for 3, which is a lifetime in the Raiders world. Coaches don't stay that long usually, so that's a lifetime. Right now he's signed for 3 years with the 4th year option.
All right. So let's get to the next fun one. So this is the hot one. This is the hot one that everybody wants. He's going to come at a high price. He is 27 years old.
I'm going to guess it. It's Justin Fields, isn't it?
Oh, Sam Darnold.
Damn it. I was wrong.
So Sam Darnold, 14 wins, 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, shit the bed in the playoffs in the last couple games of the year. So that is his kind of downfall. He lost himself a lot of money in those last 2 games. So, but he is going to be the most coveted free agent quarterback. He's young. He's a first-round talent, and he did this year. It's just if he can duplicate that, somebody's going to nab Darnold that has a good defense, and he's probably going to take him to the playoffs again. I think his time in Minnesota is up. He's going to get a contract. They're probably going to lowball him, knowing that they have McCarthy there. So I think he will leave. That is a real possibility that it has come to us.
My only issue with Sam Darnold, and you can touch on it a little bit too, is Sam Darnold had the best receiver in the NFL. He had Addison. He had Jones in the running game. His line wasn't terrible. He had a lot of things go his way in order to be successful. How do you think he would turn in a team, say, as the Raiders? Because he's not going to have Jefferson out there getting,
triple team. That's the other thing. And he had Addison too. He's going to have I'd say less yards. Obviously less touchdowns. He's not throwing for 30 touchdowns in Vegas with our receiving core because we don't have a true
start panicking more. I mean, Sam Darnold, I believe, is just he had the perfect situation in Minnesota.
Yeah.
O'Connell's a great coach. You know, having Justin Jefferson, I mean, shit, I'll throw for 1,000 yards with Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Baller. He's one of the best receiver out there. That's what makes me nervous about Sam Darnold. That's the reason why I kind of push back a little, just because of that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is a glaring issue there.
But the other thing with him is just the same thing as with the contract. You know, you have to pay him. Shitty quarterbacks get a lot of money. So Darnold's contract, yeah. Darnold's contract evaluation right now is anywhere from the $30 to $40 million range. So we'll see if he gets that. He probably will. He'll get a multi-year deal. 4 years probably, 30 to 40 million with some kickers. The problem with that, again, it eats up a third of our cap space, and you don't know if he's going to reproduce the same. There's been multiple quarterbacks that do good for a year or two, and then they fall off with that. So, we'll
it's all about the situation, man. It's just, having Justin Jefferson, having Jordan Addison. I mean, he was put in a great position over in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But, I mean, shoot, let's take a quick question. We got Samoan in here. Trey Lance.
Bruh. No, come on. No, that guy's washed up. I wouldn't even want Dak at this point. I don't want anybody that played ever for the Cowboys.
Trey Lance would be interesting, possibly as a number 3 option. I mean, you put some competition out there. I mean, he was obviously a top 5 pick. He hasn't turned out. But I mean, Darnold didn't turn out till this year either. I mean, and Darnold was a top 5 pick as well. I mean, you just got to be put in that right position. Yeah. And
it's a lot of it's coaching too, and we have coaching. So I think we're going to get somebody that's a little bit below average or is a journeyman or something to kind of do that bridge unless they really hit in the draft. That's the problem. Free agency starts before the draft. So Darnold's going to be gone before the draft. Yeah. Darnold's going to be gone before the draft. So if we get Darnold or something like that, it kind of tells you we're going to go in the later rounds. If we don't get a quarterback, it means, hey, we're going to try to get one this year.
Yeah.
All right. So next one up.
Justin from the Death Star report says we need to trade with New England to draft Dart. Yeah, I want to touch on this real quick.
So I can't see a shit. You don't like me.
I like Jackson Dart. Do I like him in the top 6? Fuck no.
No. He's a late first second pick.
I don't know where people are getting this from. He is not a top 6 pick. That's just outrageous. But people have been saying it, and they've been saying it loud. That they need to be
wrong loud. So this is the same guy that wanted. So if you guys don't know DSR wanted Russ. He wanted Fields. He wanted all these other people too. And then, well, let me see. Because I can't screenshot a shit. I actually keep tabs with him because somebody sends me his stuff to laugh about it. But he blocked me a long time ago. He doesn't like when people disagree with him. So, hold on. He said we should hire. I have a list because whenever he talks shit, I just copy and paste it. He said we should hire Liam Cohen, Duval, trade Max for 3 firsts. He wanted to trade Max Crosby for first round picks, and he said Hidden Hooker should start. That's how much this guy knows about football. So
yeah.
Yeah, I keep receipts. I learned to do that. But next one on the list is a former player. There's always going to be some hype around players that played for Pete in the past, and it is Geno motherfucking Smith out of West Virginia. So
I'm going to spell check you here real quick.
What I do? What?
Geno.
What?
Geno.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Whatever.
You'll get fixed.
But Geno, I'll fix it for you. Geno Smith, he has a big contract coming up. He did have
top 5 oldest quarterback in the league. 7?
Yeah, he's 34. Russ is older at 36. So, but you saw he had 10 wins, 4,300 yards, 21 touchdowns. He does turn the ball over a little bit. So, That's the only issue with that. For me, same thing. Bridge quarterback. Fuck you. I'm fixing it right now. Hey, I can't be perfect. All right. You know what? Eat a dick. How about that? There you go.
There you go.
If you guys don't know, I make spelling errors galore. I just don't give a shit. I text like crap too. And people tell you that. I misspell everything. But yeah, 10 wins, 4,300 yards. His trade value, he is under contract for next year. He's getting $44 million. That is the problem you see with all these trades. They're in the back end of their contracts. They're all getting $30-40 million, which is very high. It puts them in about the 10th spot, 10 to 15th spot for quarterbacks. So draft, to me, is the way to go. Geno Smith, I think, is an outlier. I don't think it's really going to happen because he is 34. He is a lower tier quarterback. The value, 5th or 6th. If they need anything more, they're retarded.
Yeah. I would like Geno Smith. I mean, I know his age is up there in the factor. I mean, it kind of all wraps together. They're all bridge quarterbacks. Even Sam Darnold at 27. Would you consider him a 10-year quarterback? Most people would say no.
No. Hopefully he does well. You always hope about things like that when quarterbacks bust out like that. And there are late bloomers.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he has probably 6 good years left in him, 6 or 7. That's it. So somebody's going to overpay him most likely. If he gets like a 30-year deal, a $30 million a year deal at like 4 or 5 years, like they're stuck with him. There's nothing you can do.
Exactly. And I all these guys, they all kind of have something in common. I mean, they're not going to be the home run guy. They put you in contention. They put you at the 8-win mark, the 9-win mark, ceiling 11. That's the Raider in me saying the ceiling 11, but also it depends what we're saying in free agency.
I 1000% agree with you on that. It is committing to mediocrity if we sign any of these quarterbacks. I've been saying that max, you're going to get 10 wins, probably, maybe 11 if you're lucky, and you're getting knocked out of the playoffs. You're committing to being above average team. And I remember the question, Mitch, would you want 9 or 10 wins? I'm like, I would, but not for a year or two and just call it a day.
Thanks for tuning in. Alpha Kanzi, if I'm saying that right.
You're managing the comments, right? Because I'm doing the banners.
Yeah, I'm doing comments.
I did like 40 unread comments. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I'm doing comments.
Let's go.
No, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad we're on the same page. You get any of these guys, I mean, you're committing to 8-9 wins. You're committing to maybe an 11-win ceiling. And I mean, it all depends. I mean, football is a team sport. You're going to need a defense. You're going to need all the other things that go along with it. But these quarterbacks, I mean, there's probably, if you put a percentage on it, you get Darnold, you get Stafford, you get Justin Fields, you get any of these guys, you got an 80% chance of probably not winning a playoff game in the first 2 years, which is a pretty high percentage.
Yeah. Now the other one is our fun friend. There's always been rumors about him coming to us for the past couple of years. Russell Wilson. So Russ went 6-5 last year, 2,400 yards, 16 touchdowns. He is an unrestricted free agent. That is the good part. So you'd have to structure his contract. He got that fat payout from Denver. So
they're still paying.
In next year, he is out of contract, so he gets to sign a fresh new deal. He is 36 years old. So to me, he's going to get a 2 or 3 year deal, kind of a prove it deal. I personally thought Fields should have stayed started. Fields is obviously not as good passer. He did have a better record than Russell, believe it or not. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Russ, the same thing. You got to pay your quarterbacks. He's going to get, at the low end, very low, $25 million, most likely 35. So again, you're tying up a 30-year cap space for a journeyman quarterback that's on the tail end of his career. That's not going to be as good as he once was.
Yeah.
So again,
Russ, what though? I will throw out some optimists about Russell Wilson. I think out of everyone that you have named so far, I feel that he would have the most success year one.
Yes. I think he would too. The system and Pete Carroll.
System, just because he knows the system, he'll know Pete Carroll's way of coaching. He'll understand, scenarios under Pete Carroll. Out of all the quarterbacks that we named so far, Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, Geno Smith, I think Russ would have the most success year one.
And we're inclined to hate the quarterbacks now that we signed the free agent ones because of Jimmy G. because of Gardner Minshew. So we are skittish as Raider Nation. We're like, oh fuck, we don't want to do this again. We don't want to sign another quarterback and have it turn into a bad situation. So
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna throw myself out there. I was so damn high on Jimmy Garoppolo. I was so delusional.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm like, man, he's a game manager. We have a top 10 D. Like, we're gonna win some games. Like, we may not go far, but we're gonna compete. And it was just fucking horrible.
We were never so wrong. I remember I sat in the Win Field Club for the home opener against Pittsburgh, and I was like, Jimmy G, quarterback one. I was posting them on my story and stuff. I'm like, man, this guy is blowing.
Well,
here
the one that Dangerous took, Justin Fields. So we got Justin Fields.
Well, now Justin Fields, you got a few comments here saying go get Carr back.
Hey, no, eat a dick. So I'm sorry, I'm not Dustin. No, Carr. So we've been there, done that. Carr is getting paid $45 million, has already refused to restructure his contract. We've been down that route. The problem with Raider fans is we do this nostalgia feel. We do it with Gruden. We do it with old players. We're like, oh man, I remember how they were. I remember what they were. Let's get that back. And it doesn't pan out. If Carr came here, it'd be an absolute disaster. And again, there's other quarterbacks that I feel would have a better chance of winning with our system and our defense than Derek Carr. People forget Derek Carr can't score in the red zone. Last year, he did better at it. The previous 9 years, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL inside the 20. That is not fixable. That is who he is. On top of that, he has one of the highest turnover margins in the NFL. That loses games, okay? Then, on top of that, on 2023, now this is where I know my numbers. 2023, Derek Carr and Aiden O'Connell were the only two quarterbacks with a top 10 defense to miss the playoffs. He's not equipped to get you long runs. He's not equipped to, endure the season, get you the playoffs. That's not what he is, and that's okay. But coming back, like, gotta squash that, man. Like, I know there's people out there that like him, but the numbers don't add up. The money doesn't add up. He's already had his time. He his brother hates our organization. It's not going to happen. No fucking way.
Love starting fires. Got you all wild up on Derek Carr.
Yeah, people be like, you don't know football. I'm like, I know that shit off the top of my head. Like, I don't even do research. I was like, I just know because I always made jokes.
And there is some nostalgia behind Derek Carr. I mean, not for me, but you bringing up to how bad he was in the red zone. I mean, we had so many pictures go viral of Derek Carr missing wide open receivers or not, taking. Remember when he would not throw the ball away or not? Let me rephrase that. Do you remember how many times on fourth down he would just take the sack?
Yeah, and that was one of the things I reviewed in depth. I have multiple subscriptions to places, and I take the data and I put it together. And like I used to do a whole presentation. That's what made my page blow up. I would do full presentations on PFF advanced stats and pull them from multiple locations and put them together and explain them to people in an easy way so you can understand it. And, one of the things was like the average, I can't remember what the actual number is. They did like 2-3 years ago, but like Derek Carr on average gives the defense like 3 or 2.5 points a game or something like that. And then on top of that, his touchdown percentage was like 0.5% to 0.75% lower than NFL average. Like there was all these little things that he did that accumulated to him giving up more points than an average quarterback. And it caused too many problems. He throws up ridiculous numbers. Like, don't get me wrong, but numbers don't win. And I use this point exactly. You know what quarterback that we all think's trash has better numbers than Derek Carr? More touchdowns, more yards, better average, less turnovers, and more wins that we think is absolutely ass and has been playing the same amount of time as Derek Carr?
I want to guess, but I'm gonna.
Take a guess.
He's completely ass, but has more wins than AFC or NFC.
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 No, he's in the NFC.
He's in the AFC.
No, NFC. Always been in the NFC.
He's always been in the NFC, and he has the same amount of years as Carr. And
he's been in the year. He's started started less games, has more yards, more touchdowns, more. What?
Daniel Jones.
No. Kirk Cousins. Across the board, Kirk Cousins has better numbers, more wins, more touchdowns, more yards per average than Derek Carr. So I told somebody today, I'm like, if you're saying Derek Carr is elite, then you're saying Kirk Cousins is elite because Kirk Cousins throws up stupid fucking numbers. So
Kirk Cousins
yeah,
is gonna bust.
on a tangent, but yeah. And if you don't believe me, pull it up. What you
I'm
do
on
is
a
you take
solo boat here.
the
I like
games
Kirk Cousins.
started or the games played, and you divide that number. So you find out how many games they started, and then you can find how many yards they got in those starts, and you divide it, and it gives you an average yards per start. That's the easiest way to figure out how they do. So the NFL average per start right now in 2024 is about 215 yards. So if you throw more than 215 yards, that means you throw more than the NFL average mid-level quarterback replacement value. AOC is like at 190. Average is 215. So things like that. Like that's how you use the analytics to say like they're a little bit less than what they should be. But
And that makes sense. I mean, it's a passing league now. I mean, you have to be able to hit that, go over that hump.
yeah. Did we talk Fields' contract? No, we didn't.
No, we haven't gotten to Justin Fields. You went on a Derek Carr rant.
Let's get the Fields. I'm all riled up.
For people just tuning in, we're talking about potential quarterbacks, and we went completely far right now with Derek Carr.
So Fields is 25 years old. He is a run-first quarterback. If you see that down below, look at his stats. He did torch us when he played us, threw a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. He went 4-2 with the Steelers, but they knew their offense wasn't going to be as explosive. They did have a couple wide receivers that needed to get the ball, and Fields wasn't that guy. So Fields played to about a contract value, about 6 to 10 million. Probably on the open market, he gets 10 to 20. He probably gets you that prove me deal like Gardner Minshew did. Hey, you did decent enough. We're going to give you 10 to 15, 10 to 20, 2-year contract. Go prove yourself. And if not, you're a wash. Might even throw like a third year where you can actually cut him for less money. So Fields, I'd actually be comfortable with as a bridge if we draft somebody and let him compete. Same thing with Fields. I think we're an 8 or 9 win team with our defense being top 10 if he comes in and does well.
But that's a lot of variables. I mean,
yeah,
that's
he's the biggest player. He's the biggest player for me. Yeah. If Tomlin doesn't want you, that's an issue to me.
Yeah.
Tomlin is one of the most respected coaches in NFL.
Yeah. Fields, I mean, I like him as a player. I've always liked him as a player in Chicago at Ohio State. I was a big Fields fan. Some OSU bias. I do like Ohio State a little bit. But there's a lot of question marks with him. There's a reason why he's not a starting consistent quarterback. His decision making always isn't there. He's kind of like a mobile Derek Carr. I mean, that's the best way to explain it. His decision making is not the best. He'll throw into those double coverages. He'll throw into those triple coverages for no reason when he could have ran the ball. He'll run the ball when he has an open receiver. His decision making is not always the best.
The camera's doing a 360. Come on, you son of a bitch. There we go.
So that's the thing with Fields. He's kind of like a mobile Derek Carr. He has bad decision making.
Yeah, and I don't think that the problem is the first 4 years when he was in Chicago, he never got the coaching he needed. So he's still the same kid. Yeah. He did better in Pittsburgh, but he still didn't probably evaluate. To me, I was like, Jesus Christ, Fields is 4-2 and they benched him. Like, to me, that was nuts. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, well, you know what? Again, when it comes to Mike Tomlin, I trust his judgment. So I was like, he saw something. And when Tomlin sees something or doesn't see something in a player, you trust that judgment. So if we were to get him, I think the holes would be bigger because I think Tomlin was able to coach him up.
Yeah. And I think Fields, eventually he'll have that Sam Darnold season where he goes to a team and just has a Pro Bowl season. But he needs all the right things to go for him as well.
Yeah. Now we get to the final one. The most controversial,
Before you even put it up, I'm going to say yes. I mean, yeah, I would take him. And I'm going to be the one guy here that say I would take him.
Fucking Aaron.
He threw I'm sorry. I would take him right now. And that's just because the only reason, before we get into the analytics, the reason I would take Aaron Rodgers is because we have been so bad with quarterbacks. I just want to see some good quarterback play. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 games. I really don't. I'm tired of watching Jimmy Garoppolo and O'Connell and all these guys. I want to see us score 40 points again.
Do you think he gets cut or traded from New York?
Oh, he's getting cut. 100% he's getting cut.
I don't think he gets cut. You can get him on. Let me actually pull up what his cut contract is because that I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah. So he's not making much this year. So
Uh-huh.
if he's
So people
cut,
roast
what's the
him real quick. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
there's
I don't
no
know.
way they're
I
cutting
don't
him.
know
No,
about
there's no way. Yeah, they can't cut him. It's a $45 million dead cap if they cut him this year. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think they're gonna cut him. They told him, I believe they told him, hey, you can't go on the Pat McAfee show if you want to continue playing in New York.
Yeah, a cut post June, he is 14 million for the next 3 and then 7 after that. So they're going to eat what 30, 12, $49 million over the next 4 years.
And you can't cut him post June. That's already after draft. That's after the first waves of free agency.
You cut him pre-June, you're talking $100 million they're going to fucking eat. There's no way.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you trade him pre-June, same shit. Post-June, yeah, they're stuck. They're either doing 100 or they're doing 40. That's 49. So, yeah, to me, they're going to do post-draft.
Mhm.
I think they're going to put it. Somebody's not going to get a quarterback, or somebody's going to want one, or they're going to have a deal already done and say, "Hey, we're going to have to wait." Like, they have the deal in value, and they say we have to wait until after this date because the contract is variable or whatnot, or we have to trade before X date because this kicks in, whatever the hell it may be. Like player guarantees. They'll get rid of them or they'll bench them a week before, that kind of bullshit. Yeah, there's no way they're going to eat $100 million if they do. Just oh man,
hey, we've eaten $100 million a few times.
Yeah, it is a lot. That's to set their franchise back. So, I can see him being traded for like a 6th or a 7th. Like, you're not going to get shit for a 40-plus-year-old quarterback. So,
I don't think he ends up in Vegas. I think realistically, if he were to go somewhere, he would probably go to maybe like San Francisco. I don't see him in Vegas. I was totally joking. I don't think he comes. I can see him in San Francisco.
So who's your prospect? Say we don't draft. What free agent is most likely to you?
Russell Wilson, I think, hands down. I think it goes Russell, Geno, and then Sam Darnold.
So Geno you have to trade for, and he has cap. That's the only thing holding me back. If he was an undrafted free agent, a free agent, unrestricted, I would say 1,000% I'd say Geno or Russ. I think it goes Russ, Fields, and then Geno.
Do you think Fields is that high, huh? I like Fields. I just don't think he's that high.
Just because of his contract status. It's not going to cost us very much money. We don't have to trade anything. We don't have to lose any assets. I don't see Pete Carroll trading away assets his first year to try to get things. Yeah. So
I like Fields. I hope Fields is an option, but I don't know. We don't make
Davis and Aaron Rodgers. Bro, tell me you did not love Jameis Winston as an analyst. Dude, that dude is fucking hilarious.
He's gonna have a great career when he's done.
Yeah. Dude, that dude is just the past year, people have been interviewing and have him on the podcast. That dude's so damn funny. Yeah. Like you see the guy threw him a crab leg and just started eating it on the balcony.
That's awesome, dude. He was dancing through the streets and he looked like he had no care in the world.
And he was doing like the rickshaw with people and he ran into a horse. Like, if I saw Jameis Winston, I'm like, no, I need that guy to take me places. Come on, let's go. Where are we going?
Pay extra.
Yeah, like, how much you want? I don't need to ask.
That's a crazy. Joe Flacco would be crazy. No, I don't. Damn.
That's that as a backup. No, and every quarterback we listed here, I think would start over AOC. I think Sanders would start over AOC. I think Ward would start over AOC. So the fact that there's 8 to 10 quarterbacks available that would take a low-level trade or get in free agency that would start over the quarterback we currently have should tell you something. If AOC was that good, this wouldn't be up for debate. But like, AOC's our starter, but he's not, and he hasn't shown stuff. I did record a video. I haven't posted it yet. I did dive into the analytics, and it's alarming what he throws up versus the average quarterback in the NFL. He's a below-average quarterback. If you're looking at just numbers, like nothing else, don't study film, anything like that. You can look at just numbers. You can look at his film. His film is bad too. Some of it's fucking horrible. If you look at his just numbers without the name, he's below average on every NFL, every NFL statistic besides completion percentage. And it gets even worse. I was like, I'm going to pull up 20 years ago when Brady played just for fun. AOC throws less yards and touchdowns on average than quarterbacks did 20 years ago. Think about that. That's insane, right? That's fucking wild. That's
Crazy.
wild. I was like, that can't be right. So I started doing the numbers and the math again. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why are people high on this guy? Because he throws the ball deep every once in a while. That's why. It's flashy sometimes.
He shows flashes, but I don't know. He's just not a.
He's 26 years old.
It.
You know?
He's not it.
And
one of the way these quarterbacks are coming out now, man. I mean, AOC is just not it. I do like AOC. I like him as a person. We've got to meet him on occasion. He's just not it.
And people say, oh, he needs more time. He's had 20 games. He's played 20 games. That's enough time. That's a season and a half to evaluate 2 camps. It's enough time. So if they get somebody, they're going to let him compete, especially if it's a second or third round pick. They're going to compete because you have that person for 4 years and you're not paying him very much money. So it doesn't matter who starts. Yeah. But and I asked this question to somebody and they kind of got angry. I'm like, okay, so let's say AOC is a free agent right now. Say he's a free agent, contract's up. Would you sign him to 4 years, $35 million a year?
Fuck no.
Exactly. He's not a starting quarterback. Like that, because if that's what happens and he hits a free agent market, like, are you going to do that? No, you're fucking not, because he's not a quarterback. So,
yeah, not at all. I would not take AOC at that price. You know, though, he does have I don't even know if he has an upside.
He's 26 years old. He's not getting faster. Yeah, he's already fully developed. Like people forget, like he was 24. He was a grown ass man playing in college. Like he's 24 years old. This dude was probably doing Ubers on the side. Like he's investing in 401ks while he was in college. Like he's a grown ass man. Like playing against 17-year-olds. Like, come on.
Shit, man.
You know what it reminds me of? You remember? It might be a little young for this. You remember Chris Winkie? Remember him or no?
No.
So Chris Winkie was a 29-year-old senior, and won the Heisman because I'm like, that's a grown ass man going out there beating the shit out of kids, and like he got drafted like the 5th round or something because he's 29 years old. He's not going to develop. Like he might come in and do okay, but he got drafted, was a backup, popped around, and then he was out of the league. But yeah, AOC's too old. There's too much talent.
AOC is kind of weak, unfortunately. I mean, he'll be maybe 20 years ago, he could have been a really good prospect, a developmental quarterback. But the way these quarterbacks are coming out now, I mean, he's not it. Look at Daniels. Look at all these dudes coming out, man. They're just, these quarterbacks are coming out elite. They're coming out better than ever before.
Yeah, and it takes them. They have a rookie year where they'll throw for 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. That's standard, and then from there they usually grow on it. So, they're coming out more prepared, more polished. They're coming out younger at 22, 23. So,
they're coming out.
They're 7-8-year vets, and they're just hitting 30. Like, it's too much. So, I think there's 10 quarterbacks available that we would start. I think Dart would beat him out. I think Ward would beat him out. I think Sanders would beat him out. I think Monroe would beat him out from Bama. And, there's other people that may come in and compete. You got the guy from Georgia. He might come in. I always forget his name now. Not Stockton. That's the other one. The hell's Beck. Sorry, Carson Beck was a second, third round grade before he started fucking up at the end of the year. So, Beck probably can come in, is more gifted athletically than him, has the same type of arm. Beck can probably come in and compete with him. So there's a lot of quarterbacks that I can see that compete. It's not going to be there. So,
Yeah. Well, we got a question here. I think it's a good question too. It's not one of the crazy ones I throw at you. Name one realistic hopeful for us in the draft and free agency.
So, see, I've been doing my research. All right. So there's 2 ways. I'll take this one first. So there's 2 ways. So if we draft a cornerback, that means I don't want a cornerback free agent. Okay. So say we draft Will Johnson. Okay. I personally want Darnold or Russ as a free agent. I think that would get us to the bridge, draft somebody that could develop. Now, if we go with Sanders, say he falls to us, I want Ward or Greenlaw from the Niners. The linebacker position, imagine Greenlaw next to Spillane or Ward next to Bennett, even Reed from the New York Jets. You put those fuckers next to Bennett, dude. You got two corners that can potentially be locked down, or you get a linebacker in with Spillane. That's going to stop the run. The run defense is going to be even better.
Yeah.
They're going to be forced to throw the ball and forced to throw into coverage. Our defense is just a step away from being elite, and I hope they go that route.
I love the Greenlaw pick. I think Greenlaw would be awesome. I agree with you. If it's not Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, whoever falls to the Raiders in the beginning of the draft, I think Abdul Carter is a very realistic option. He's probably going to go 2 now because of the Myles Garrett situation. He's probably going to go to Cleveland. A couple weeks ago, he was a very, very realistic situation. I think Will Johnson is a very realistic situation for the Raiders. Free agency, I will go offense here. I would say I think Chris Godwin has a really good potential to be a Raider. He has the Spytech connection. Raiders have a need at wide receiver 1, and I think Godwin can get him there. He was the ranked 2 receiver before he got hurt. He's coming obviously off his whole ankle blowing up on him, so he might come a little cheaper. I think Godwin is a very realistic option. If not, I do love Greenlaw. I think Greenlaw, Godwin, I think they would be home run picks for the Raiders.
Godwin has a good 3 or 4 years left. Just depends how much comes off his injury.
He's only 27. He's still pretty young.
He's going to be 28 when the season's
28.
Yeah. But, he has 4 years. I mean, that's realistically what he has. He has 4 years, signed a 3-year deal with a player option for the 4th, or even a 2 with a player option for the 3rd. And you're going to get him way cheaper than T. Higgins. Way cheaper.
Yeah, T. Higgins, I think we're outpriced on T. Higgins. And I know we have a lot of cap, but do you really, really want to spend that money? He's going to cost a lot, dude. He's going to cost $30 million plus a year. That's a lot.
Yeah. So next week, because it is going to be approaching free agency. Next week we'll talk offensive free agents, and the week after that we'll talk defense. For those that don't know, free agency starts March 12th. That's when the fun begins. Okay. You're gonna see.
What day is March 12th? Is it a Tuesday?
Oh fuck, we'll go live. I got no better to do.
We might have to make an exception that day.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
So
we might have to that week.
In contact the week before, like, oh yeah, this, and then bam, like that, they're gonna sign immediately.
Yeah,
you're gonna see a lot
Monday.
Yeah,
I can't wait for that. But to the question, that was a really good question from One Nuz We Trust.
What was that on? I
was on Instagram.
Can you pin those, or do I have to?
I think you have to. I don't think I can pin your Instagram comments. That was a good question. Really good question. I'm gonna lead Greenlaw, Godwin, and Johnson Shedeur.
Yeah,
for draft.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We are getting some subscribers. Did that fun AI video over the weekend, so I learned how to mess with the AI now. So that's all bad. I can clone.
What are you using for AI?
No. I clone people's voices and I dub it over. So that's a whole new thing I can do now. That's pretty cool. So yes, I can clone anybody's voice. So I'm gonna have some fun with that this year. I was sitting on my couch just dicking around trying to figure it out, and that's the second one I ever did, and it came out good. So we're gonna have fun with
that. That is fun. Your video went viral on YouTube, 70,000. Congrats. It's a good video.
Hey, we got subscribers off of it. We got to keep grinding, man. Subscribers, we started the YouTube page this year. It'll pick up.
And then next week we will be at the Commitment to Excellence dinner in Vegas. It's honoring Max Crosby.
So he will be there. I have no idea if we'll be able to interview him. We're going to try. I will try. I'm pushy. So
he is pushy. He's very pushy.
I can promise you I will get an autograph. That will happen. I'm bringing out some cool. I made a custom helmet. So yeah. I got shit that nobody else has, and that's why I get shine. It's for my kid though. It's not for me. So
yeah, that's tight. So we will be at his dinner next week. It's over in Henderson. It's not at a hotel. Well, it is at a hotel, but in Henderson. So. Yeah. It is what it is.
All right.
We will be working to bring. Hold on, real quick. We will be working to bring more guests on. I know we had Mitch. We had a lot of big guests come on. I'm working on 2 currently. One is a Madden streamer, but he's pretty big. His name is Maze for anyone who does, follow the whole Madden stream stuff like that. Maze is a huge YouTuber. I think he's at 200,000 on YouTube. We'll see what other guests we can bring on too.
Gotta get some people, have some fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It's the off season. It's gonna be, we might just talk shit in an episode. It depends. I mean, it's off season, man. So we're gonna have fun. Trade Wilson for the 5th or 6th round pick. Damn.
No, no.
No, I don't. It's too early. I don't know. It's too late. What are we thinking on running back? Let's take some of these questions. If you guys have a question, we got like a couple minutes.
Running back. Okay, so for me, I fucking hate Najee, so out the window. Najee's ass. Like I said, he's a half a mil away from being Eddie Lacy. For me, it's running back by committee. So for me, it would be, if he stays healthy, J.K. Dobbins as a free agent. I'm not talking about drafts. I'm talking about free agent. J.K. Dobbins, if he stays healthy. That guy has all the talent in the world. Another Ohio State guy, but he can't stay healthy. That's his problem. If not him, I'm going to go with Jones from the Vikings. Consistently 1,000-yard rusher every year, running back by committee. He'll get 600 or 700 yards for you. Had another 1,000-yard rushing year at 30. The guy can run 4.5 yards a carry. Has enough breakaway speed. He is getting older, so you'd sign him for about a 2-year deal, and I think it would work out pretty well.
I do like those picks. I lean more towards the draft. I think you can get Judkins in the 3rd round. I think Judkins would be. I think so. I mean, he kind of fell off towards the end of the year. I think he does go 3rd, early 3rd, late 2nd, early 3rd. I think you can get Judkins for a very reasonable deal.
If he falls to the 3rd, I think we draft him. It could with our pick. I think we draft him.
I think he goes very early in the 3rd, but I do believe he's a 3rd round pick. I think he's a phenomenal 3rd round pick if he does fall that far.
For me, I think quarterback in the 1st, if Sanders fall, if not cornerback. 2nd round, it's going to be up for grabs. We're going to take, if there's a good wide receiver, we're going to take him. If there's a good linebacker, we're going to take him. Mm-hmm. If there's a good cornerback, we're going to take him. If Bart's still there, we might take him.
Yeah.
I think the 2nd round pick is just going to be like, hey, what hole do we have? We have about 5 positions we need. What hole do we have the most? Who's the best one of that? And we grab them. And I think the 3rd and 4th, we start addressing running back, wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think you get a project wide receiver possibly in the 3rd or 4th along with the running back. I would love Judkins. I really would. Scattaboo, he had a great bowl game. He's a little slow for the NFL. I can see why people like him though. The dude's a baller.
Yeah. You know who you're reminds me of? What's that white cat from oh god, I'm gonna have to look that up. He's fuck. What's his name? I'm gonna have to Google it right here.
Peyton Hillis?
I'm literally Googling. There you go. He's fucking Peyton Hillis without the muscle. That's what he is.
Peyton Hillis?
I was literally Googling white guy on Madden cover because I couldn't remember his name. That's all I remember. Yeah, number 14 round. He's Peyton Hillis, bro. Although there's another one too, but yeah, I don't think he'll be any good, anything more than a rotational back.
Mm-hmm.
Too slow. Too slow.
Yeah, this is like the 5th comment I've got. No, I'm probably like the 20th. Shane Gillis, is that you? Yes, it is. you know Shane Gillis, right?
He's white boy of the year.
I get that comparison all the time now. Yes, I am Shane Gillis. Gills.
My goal is to be white boy of the day on AB's page.
Cracker of the day. Get it? Come on.
Cracker of the day. I got some. I've been on AB's page before, back in the day for you when he played a couple times. So I'm gonna bust those out. I'm gonna see if I get cracker of the day. I'm gonna try all off season. I'm gonna do my best.
You with that post you posted today, you probably could have got cracker of the day. I'm not gonna lie.
Which one?
Kelsey Mahomes with their tits out. You probably could have got cracker of the day with that Twitter post. I was like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah. Bad vaginas. Oh. Yeah, he's a son of a bitch now, man.
Yeah, you're fucking. Who gave Josh permission for this shit?
I know. No, the Kermit one. People were like, "Dude, I think that's too far." And I was watching it like, yeah, maybe a little bit.
I missed the Kermit one.
Oh, the one where no, I don't want to be here. That one?
No, I missed it.
Oh, yeah, that one was the like Little
When was
struggle
this?
smoke. The one I posted over the weekend. I put review of the Eagles game. But basically, I'm not going to say it, but he was assaulted in a certain manner. Yeah, people were like, "Dude, no, that's over the line." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not going to remove it. Still, it's going to stay there." And like somebody commented, like, "This shit hasn't been taken down yet." I'm like, "No, I don't see why it would."
Something else, man. Something else. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. It's a long off season. March 12th is the beginning of free agency. We will still be on. We're gonna try to provide good content throughout the season.
Message us. If you're starting up, if big, small, it doesn't matter. Love to have people on. Shoot the shit. If you come on, know your numbers, know your topics, know what you want to discuss. We'd love to have people on. It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of good times when we have guests on. So it's good to get different opinions. I think me and you probably have a lot of the same views. We're like that depressed, like old Raider fan. Like, man, fuck this.
We've been through it, bro. We've been through the dark times. When I started going to Raider games very heavy, and dude, like Aaron Brooks was my quarterback. So we've been through it, bro.
Well, we signed him.
I was a little too young for Rich Gannon. I was like 5 when when the Raiders went to the Super Bowl. So when I started going to games really heavy, it was like Aaron Brooks and Terrell Pryor.
Oh, you want to know a funny story? Funny story. It's just quick. I always remember Super Bowl Sunday because it's the day I lost my virginity.
Wow, that's a crazy one.
Yeah. I was left unattended at my house, and so I will never forget that. Know the girl's name, everything.
Well, you had a Super Bowl in a different way.
Yeah. Gannon caught the L. I got the dub. So
yeah. Oh shit! It was a Raider Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah. When we lost to the Bucks.
Oh shit. Well, again, wow. Yeah, we appreciate everyone tuning in. I'm Raider AQ. It's the GOAT 209. YouTube is QX GOAT. Please subscribe. It helps us a lot. It's free. I remember Daunte Culpepper too. Yeah, I was fucking juiced when Culpepper came. I thought he was the answer.
Yep. And somebody didn't want to trade too much. No, what was it? Miami got him. And who the hell? Saban just talked about that. He wanted
Daunte Culpepper was supposed to be paired with Randy Moss in Oakland. Yeah. That was the plan from the get-go.
Yeah, never panned out.
No, it didn't work. We got Culpepper too late or too early. One of the two. I think it was too late. So, all right, guys. Well, appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Take care.